It's about to go down.
No masterpiece. 10 bad bitches and they after me. One bad bitch look like a masterpiece.
मिलन बधाइयां जगते जिते मिलन बधाइयां के आया है फतेह कर काने है जन्मया एक सूरमा 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 सूरमा.
Make them tie the club up.
Cyborg.
What's up guys, I'm Shaunak. I'm one of the choreo directors for Zahanat this year, and this is the Bhangra tutorial. So we're going to be dancing to the Pure Water Bhangra mix by Cyborg. It'll be linked below. This is a fairly fast and pretty difficult piece, so we don't expect you guys to master everything perfectly, but what we are going to be looking for is energy and control. So in Bhangra especially, you want to make yourself look as big as possible, but it's also important to have control over your arms and legs so they're not flailing all over the place. We're going to be teaching you guys some key footwork before getting into the actual choreo. And while it's very important to know these footworks, it takes a lot of practice to get it perfectly, and we also can't expect that from you guys from an online video. So just try your best, and it's okay to mess up. Just put in as much energy as you can. So let's get into the footwork. So there are three kinds of footwork that we're going to be using. Those three kinds are up footwork, down footwork, and flow footwork. So in up footwork, you want to put one knee up, starting with your left, and it should be at a 90-degree angle, facing outwards, but a little bit diagonal forward. And while you have one knee up and your other leg down, you want to do a small hop, and then you want to switch sides. So you should have kind of a pendulum motion. While one foot is up, you put it down, and then immediately the other one comes up. They should only be both at the ground for about a split second. So everything together, it looks like this. So just try to get your knees as high up as possible. The second kind of footwork we're going to teach is flow footwork. So in flow footwork, you want to shift your weight to one side of your body. So we start off with our right side, and we lift up our left foot. And then we switch sides. You put your left foot down, lift up your right foot, and do a little bit of a hop. So the idea is to flow from side to side, like this. Now the third kind of fundamental footwork is down footwork. So this is kind of similar to flow footwork. We start with our right foot down and our left foot up, but instead of directly putting your left foot down and shifting your weight, you should turn your left foot that's up in a circle. So it should circle inwards, and your feet should come down in a way that the toes are pointed outwards. So you do this, and then you shift to the other side. You turn your left foot around and put it flat on the ground, and you spin your right foot. And you do a little bit of a hop here too. So putting it all together, it looks like this. So just try to keep your torso as centered as possible, and try to be light on your feet and not strong. You should kind of be like bouncing off your toe area. So these are the three kinds of footwork. Another fundamental, which is helpful to know before we get into our choreo, are Bhangra hands. So I'll come a bit closer. For Bhangra hands, you want to have your palms out with your thumbs out at a 90-degree angle. And we'll be using them a lot. They kind of form these L's. That's it for the fundamentals. So for our tryout choreo, for our first step, our hands are going to be Bhangra hands facing inwards in a triangle around your chest. So your hands should be almost touching, but not quite. And your arms should not be completely bent, completely straight. There should be a little bend. And after you form this triangle, you want to rotate both your hands forward and snap it back at the same starting position. So you're going to do that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the feet, what you're going to do is first you're going to step over with your right foot and then pop up your left foot. Your whole body will be rotated diagonally, and then you step with your left foot and pop up your right foot. So putting the hands and the legs together, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to have as much of a jump as possible. Now the second move, we're going to be using flow footwork. So we're going to be going side to side. And our hands are also going to flow in 4 different positions. So first positions, your hands are going to go from down to the right with your hands facing down. And then they're going to slide over to the left. That's the second position. In third position, your hands are going to go to the right again, but this time they're going to slide over above your shoulders. And they should end with your fingers pointing completely out. And now fourth position, you go to the left. Fingers facing out again. And try to move your whole shoulders when doing this to make the move as big as possible. So everything together, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now moving on to our next step, we're going to use up footwork. So just 2 counts of up footwork. 1, 2. And your hands are going to be like fingers pointed straight upward into kind of a parabola shape. So it's just going to be 1, 2. Now for our next move, our legs are going to be very simple. They are just going to stay in place, planted, and you're going to bend your knees a little bit. And now for the hands, you're going to have Bhangra hands. You're going to start off with your left hand over your right, and then you're going to twirl your wrists and pull down and lean to the right. So like this on the left side. Now on the right side, you put your hands up in Bhangra hands, left hand chest level, right hand up, and you do the same thing, twirl your wrists and lean to the left. So together, that's 1 and 2. Now our next move is going to be a very important move that we do a lot in Bhangra called the pataka. So the footwork for this step is going to be the down footwork we learned earlier. So 4 counts of that. And the hands are going to be, it's going to be 4 counts. The first 2 counts is this fanning motion where you start off with your hands and fists. Right hand up, left hand down, and slightly out. And you make yourself look as big as possible, and you open up your fists into straight, fingers extended, and you bring your arms forward about a beach ball distance apart. Just imagine that you're like holding a beach ball. And then you do the same thing with the other side. So those are the first 2 counts. The third count is you put your right hand up in Bhangra hands and left hand also to the side at chest level, also Bhangra hands. And you twirl your wrists again and pull it down to your chest, but without leaning this time. Just pull it down. And now finally the 4th count, you have your hands out in fists really wide, and then you clap forward. So all the arms together are fan, fan, pull, and clap. So we're going to do 2 counts of these, so 8 counts total. So combining the arms and the legs, it goes like this. So this move, the pataka, we're going to be doing it on the breakout of this song. It's also just a pretty common move that Bhangra teams do on breakouts. So the next move we have, we'll start off with the feet. Start with your feet pretty close together, and then your right foot stays planted, but your left foot, you're going to slowly rotate it and move it further apart. So there's 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. And you end with your left foot pointing out, kind of diagonal. And now you do the same thing with your right foot. You first bring it close. You go 1, 2, 3. And now your arms for this step, you start out with your right hand in with the Bhangra hands, and your left hand also Bhangra hands. And you're going to keep your right hand in place, up and to the right, but your left hand is going to fan out to the left. So it should be rotating, and your whole body should kind of rotate with it. And now the second part of that is just mirrored. You put your left hand up and your right hand to the left, and you rotate that to the right. So putting arms and legs together goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last count is kind of just a hop in place. Now for the second one, instead of coming back flat like you do for the first one, to add a little bit of flair, what you should do is bring it a little bit lower. So instead of flat around, you just go down in a parabola shape. So putting that together again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now let's do everything we learned so far with counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now for the next 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now Pataka again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now after this, we're going to shift to our next move, which we call tabletops. So the legs for this move are just up footwork again. 1 and 2. Our hands for this are, we're going to start with hands down and to the side. And now we reach over and bring both of them to your left as fists. Pretty close to each other but not touching. So you start off with fists in the left. And now you move your fists above your head and open up your fists into palm. So your left hand should be facing forward and your right hand should be to the right. And we call it tabletops because you should pretend like you're hitting a tabletop that's around chest level. So your arms shouldn't drop below chest level. So putting your hands together is just these 2 counts. 1, 2. And now for the third and fourth step, bring your right hand, you kind of swipe forward, you reach out, but then you stand up tall and you slap your inner thigh. So 3 and 4. So combining that with the tabletop, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to move on to our next step, and we don't have a name for it, but it's also a fairly common move. You put your hands up in Bhangra hands, facing outwards, and upward, kind of like a V shape. And what you're going to do is you're going to dip your elbows to kind of form a W. So your hands should be a little bit above your shoulder level. You should be bringing it down, back up to the V, then back up to the W. So just 2 counts, bringing it down. And now what you want to do is your right hand should be back, and your left hand, you should fold it forward into a fist. So that's the third count. After 1, 2, right hand back and left hand fist forward. And the fourth count, you bring your right hand back to the front, and you bring your left hand to the front too, and you make a big clap in front of you. So all the hands together is 1, 2, 3, 4. For the third step, I kind of rotate my arm to bring the fist back. The legs for this move are down footwork, except you want to have your body rotated to the side. So So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. And combining it with the arms, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So just practice this move a couple of times. Now for our next move, the feet are just going to be up footwork again. So 4 counts of up footwork. And the hands are going to be, first you take your left hand, you rotate at your shoulder, and you just flex, and you hit hard downwards. So you just rotate and hit hard with the arms as flexed as possible, show off the muscles. And then same thing on the right side. 1, 2. Now for 3 and 4, you are slapping your inner thighs starting with your left. So 3 and 4. Try to make yourself look as big as possible. So combining that with the up footwork, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our next step, this is like a second kind of breakout of the song. Your feet are going to be pretty much in place with the bend on your knees, and you're going to be making very small hops. And your arms, you're going to be punching down, except instead of your hands and fists, your hands are going to be Bhangra hands facing inside. So you punch down and slowly lift your arms so that you're punching straight forward. So it's going to be 8 counts. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So combining that with the feet is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now after this, with your legs in your bent position, you move your left foot to the right and right foot back out. And then you do the same thing to the left. You shift your whole body to the left that way. Now for the arms, you're going to start off with your hands in a triangle, but you're going to rotate your body to the left, and you're going to extend your hands outwards, which are still going to be in Bhangra hands facing outwards. And you want to look down towards your hand, which is on the lower side. And now you do the same thing on the other side. So it's 1, 2, so twice on the first side, and now 3 and 4, twice on the other side. So combining that with the feet, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now we can move on to the next step. So now the feet are just going to be up footwork again. The hands are going to be a bit different. So you're going to have fingers pointed upwards, your hands and fists otherwise. And you're first going to move your left hand up and your right hand down a little bit. And that's just for the first count. Now for the second count, your right hand, which is previously lower, you want to lift it all the way around so that it's in a straight line straight behind you. And now you want to move your right hand back to the front and back forward. And this is another situation where it might take time to align your arms and your legs to the right timing, but just practice and try your best. Don't worry about it. So putting your arms and legs together, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's actually just 2 counts there, actually. 1, 2. So now we're almost done. It's just a couple of ending steps. The footwork for our next step is you first kick with your left, but don't kick at your knee. Try to move your whole leg. And then, so you just kick with your left, and then you bring your right foot back, and then you kick with your right. Now the hands for this are, you start with your hands and fists on the side, you bring them back and forward, kind of like the pataka, but instead of at the angle, it's on the side. And you don't clap, you just bring them a little bit forward. So first you do it to the side, and now you put your hands straight above you, also in fists, and then you just move them, like stretch back, and then move it forward, open up your fists. So combining it with the legs, it's just 1, 2. And now after this is just our very ending sequence. You're going to fan your arms around and you're going to bend your knees. So just together it's like this, and you end with your knees facing outwards. So 1, and now after this you just want to slap the ground with your right hand, and now you pop your body back up, and this is our ending position with your arms in a parabola and your knees bent. So that's all. Congrats, guys. These are all the steps individually, and now I'm going to do it all of it together in counts, a little bit slow. So now we're going to do the whole thing with counts, and we're going to do it all slowly. And don't worry if the counts are a bit confusing. It'll all make sense with the music, which we're going to do right after this. But first, we're just going to do it with counts. So from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's the breakout. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now ending. So now we're gonna do the full choreo with music. Alright, thank you all for trying out. Feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions, and good luck on your videos.
Hey guys, this is Asim. I'm one of the choreo directors and captains for Z12 next year. I just wanted to add this quick snippet, basically explaining how to go about submitting your videos. So everything is linked in the description below. You have the mix to your music along with the form to submit. All you have to do is get a good run through of both the Bhangra and the HFT hip hop routine, and then you can go ahead and submit it on the form either as a MOV or MP4 file, or you can just submit a link to a unlisted or public YouTube video if for some reason the file upload isn't working for you. Now make sure that your file is in the correct format if you're doing file upload, and please make sure that if it's a YouTube video that we have visibility, don't make it private because we need to be able to see it. And during this whole process, if you ever have any concerns, if you have any issues, if you feel overwhelmed, please feel free to reach out to us. That's what we're here for. Either me, Aneesh, Shaunak, Brandon, anyone you know on the team, and we'll be happy to help. I'm sure you guys are going to crush it, you guys are going to kill it, and I'm excited to see you guys, whatever you guys submit. Thank you.